Every government all over the world right now try to ensure food security for the future. We all know that climate change is here to stay. All the projections suggest increasing temperatures in the near future. What is the impact then on biodiversity? What is the impact on food production, on farming? What is the impact on the food manufacturers which require the crop? What's the impact on food retailers? What about citizens and consumers who are looking for these food products? That's what the Eco-Ready project is trying to do. To understand the challenge, to provide the right support with our data and other activities we do in the project, to policymakers, to food supply chain members, to NGOs, to government departments, to different stakeholders, to make the right decisions for the future to build resilience and security for food products.
Food security is not about making sure that the food supply chain is profitable or the food system is profitable. Food security is about making sure that we have a balanced diet of the consumer. Food security, when it was started, it had 4 pillars: accessibility, availability, stability, and utilization. Accessibility meaning that food is accessible price-wise. Availability, that there's enough food for everyone. Utilization, which means how safe is the food that we are consuming. And stability means how the system is stable and how we maintain it. Now there are 2 more, which is sustainability and agency. So it is very interesting how multidimensional food security is. So what we try to do in the project is that we create a single source of knowledge that combines and integrates all these types of insights that represent the different pillars of food security and the different types of drivers that affect food security, and serve them, let's say, through the interface of the platform to the person that wants to utilize them either to understand better the food security or to utilize this data in order to make better plans. For example, I am a farmer in Andalusia, Spain. I'm a smallholder of tomato fields. You can utilize the simple AI dialog box. I would like to know what are the predictions in terms of temperature for the next summer and how this will affect the utilization of water and the cost of water utilization for my field. Simple questions like that. This is exactly what the AI allows you to do nowadays. We connect the Eco-Ready platform with a series of data sets, and at the same time, it is an environment where someone can share their own data and include their own knowledge into this hive that will train the AI tool and will make it smarter.
All the living labs generate data for the Eco-Ready project. Because we are very advanced on the organic food systems in all situations in Denmark, therefore we decided to design a living lab specifically around organic food systems. One of our major achievements are actually related to the precision field lab which we have at Aarhus University. This is where we can actually model very detailed what kind of fertilization strategies would be needed to protect soil health for the next generation. And a key result at which we have come across is that because we use organic fertilizers and not the synthetic ones, we not only see a better crop health, we also see a better soil health. And I think this is a major result from our living lab. When the living labs were defined, the different countries could set up any living lab as long as they addressed 5 products and tapped into the food system and food security agenda. And I know the Swedish living lab, they're working on herbs. The Polish living lab is much more into arable crops. The Spanish living lab is much more into poultry and fruit. The point is that the living labs are highly diverse and reflect local conditions. And that means the living labs are actually the connection with the ground. So it's a very ground-up approach to defining solutions.
The important part of any project like this is you can get the hard data, that quantitative data. These are the hard numbers. But actually, you've got to be able to supplement it with qualitative data. These are the actual thoughts, the knowledge which people have. It is basically creating, if you like, a capability for all nations around Europe to be able to be more focused in where they invest in the future. Ultimately, that is going to help people save money. It's also going to help them to make better predictions of how our economies are going to adapt.
Usually in Horizon projects you have a linear way of data extraction and transformation into policy recommendations. But in this case, the eco-ready format is quite complex because you have data coming from the living labs, also coming from different stimulation, from the scenario modeling, from the magnet, the LCA. You also have work that is being done on the side in terms of contingency planning. And so all of these information need to be translated in a more constructed way. So at the very beginning of the project, for example, there's been a specific tasks into identifying which strategies and policies will be the best suited, or the ones that would actually benefit from the results of the project. Because at the end of the day, we're talking about legislation that are going to have an enormous impact throughout Europe, but also at regional member states level. So you also need to have this co-validation approach in terms of, does it make sense at the time? Your data might be right, but it needs to be put into perspective. At the moment, most of it would go for the CAP, so the Common Agriculture Policy, which is actually a good timing now because it's coming to the end of its cycle, and so now it's being debated and reviewed also with member states and how this can be aligned also with other different strategies. Obviously, our recommendations are going in the way of the Green Deal, the farm-to-fork strategies, the water resilience strategy, all of these things that are driving through resilience, but also anything that might impact food availability, accessibility, any type of food security item.
I think what's really interesting about this platform is it isn't just a platform for farmers or for citizens or for policymakers. It's actually trying to integrate the whole thing and to deal with that fragmentation. That at the moment people make policies without necessarily talking to farmers or talking to citizens. Everything's done in its own sort of vacuum, therefore things don't quite join up. What this might do is allow that join up to happen in a fairly easy way.
If you look into the mobile application of the eco-ready, it's very interesting because it has multiple choice quiz. It has some games, and one of the games is there is a scenario, describes a certain situation, and then you have specific indicators, water, money, and you select what exactly the measure that you are going to take in order to address the problem. So you increase the money, but you reduce the water, or you increase the water, you reduce the money. You see exactly what are the implications of the choice that you make. I would really love to see going to a classroom and asking all the kids to connect with a mobile application and start playing, and then get feedback, because then you can develop more aware consumers.
We know the challenges we have to address through climate change. But on top of that, here in the UK, the impact from Brexit, the impact from the war in Ukraine, and very, very recently, the challenge in the Middle East and products, not only fuel products, but even food products and other products coming from the Straits of Hormuz. The project provides the right opportunity to consider all of these issues and support everybody in the food supply chain for the well-being and welfare of our citizens.